Hi Sagittarians, welcome back to Souls Intersect. I have your June of 2016 reading. If you're interested in one of my private readings, please email me at soulsintersect@gmail.com. I do personal intuitive tarot video readings, and I also do past life readings. If you're interested in reading a little more about those, you can check out my website, soulsintersect.weebly.com. Okay, so as an overview, it feels to me like there has been something going on. Well, there's definitely a lot of stress that's accompanying a lot of hard work and extra effort that's been put towards something. And it feels like you're being called upon to take a bit of a rest from that. To delve in a little deeper, I'm picking something up about some sort of collaborative effort with friends. I'm seeing a group of female friends that doesn't have to be female, that could just be some in reference to one person. But it seems like some sort of project, it could be a business, an official business that's begun, or it could also be in reference to some sort of community effort, some sort of project that's being worked on, or like a fundraiser or event that's being planned that's not business related but more community related, or some sort of hobby or something that someone's involved in. And it feels like it's pretty new, where you've been working together with some close friends, and it seems like it was a good plan, but it's turned out to be a bit more stressful than you anticipated. And I do feel that the best thing right now would be to take a step back and reassess how you want to proceed, because it does seem like the energies just aren't very supportive of that right now, and that's where your worry is coming from. I don't feel like the worry is uncalled for, and you may be beating yourself up a little bit about it, not understanding why you don't feel like you're cooperating enough. But it just feels like you all really want it to work, but I don't want to say it's not meant to, but it's not meant to in the way that you're approaching it right now. And it may be best to focus on the friendship and work on this project with others, or somehow approach it in a different way. I also had the Ten of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, and I feel like if whatever this is something that you've previously worked on with family members, it feels like the advice is to go back to the other method, and or to take a little bit of a time out and spend some time with family, and maybe plan with family how you want to approach whatever this is. So it could be, like I said, a business, but I really picked up a lot about some sort of community effort, some other outside kind of organization. And for these two cards together, the Four of Cups and the Four of Pentacles, you can see that in both, the figures are resting and sitting down. And in different ways, they definitely don't look 100% comfortable or at peace. And same, of course, with the figure in the Nine of Swords above there. And it can speak to being in a little bit of an emotional struggle, and also physical. So being emotionally and physically tired, most likely because of this worry. And for some of you, something is finishing up, and it's something that you felt this way about, and right now it's just going to be a time period of resting and reflecting a bit. But there's also a message here about Um, just give me a second. It feels a little bit like I just keep getting this feeling like the energies aren't supportive of how something has been going. And this is mostly in relation to school or work or a project, even other something else planned. Like it could be someone's planning a trip. You've been planning a trip with friends, maybe a summer trip or something like that. And you're not understanding why it's not working out. It may even be something you've done before. And before it kind of felt more like this, what you're seeing in this card. It felt like everything clicked. It was really fulfilling. You were able to work together well, put together the money that you needed, plan. I am picking up a lot on like planning a trip together. And before in the past it just seemed to work, and right now it seems like it's not. And it's interesting because I feel like you Sagittarians are going through some changes possibly with friends and support group. I feel like this year has been a little bit different from you. Like maybe you've been feeling a little bit of both of these things since the new year. And we're about halfway through the year. And for summer, or just in relation to whatever kind of thing you're working on right now, you were expecting things to go as planned. You were expecting things to work in the way that they did before, and it just doesn't feel like that's happening for you. But it's because that's a sign. It's a sign that you're not being supportive. I'm sorry, that you're not being supported with certain people in your life anymore. I'm not saying to, bag your group of friends and walk away and go plan a trip with some random new people or something like that. But there definitely is the need to reassess something about it, to maybe figure out why you feel like your interests aren't exactly the same anymore. I keep seeing some sort of planned trip together, and I feel like it's something in the past where it's friends you've had for a long time. You've all done this thing together many, many times, and it's always worked, and it's something you've always looked forward to, and it's never been stressful. But right now, this month, it just feels different, and you have felt different. You felt different all this year. And I don't want you to think that you're going crazy. I'm not sure why I put it that way, but a lot of people, especially a lot of sensitive souls, have really felt different this year, especially. I mean, there's been changes in recent years, and it's just kind of been growing energetically. But this year feels a lot, I've noticed a lot within me and then others as well, that there aren't the same interests in terms of everyday life stuff, like what you like to eat or do, or where you like to go, or just how you're feeling about things or perceiving things in general. There's really been a lot of change around that energetically. And I believe that it's to help us get in touch with our higher selves a bit more, to get on our paths a bit more, and I don't feel like you're on the wrong path. But I do feel like there's less support for how things have gone in the past, and there's a good reason for it, and it's because it's to get you onto a new path. But I do feel like a lot of lagging, like a lot of you are feeling drained, and that's understandable. With that feeling of lack of energetic support, and then feeling like there's been so many changes within yourself, it's really understandable that you would feel that way. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, though. If you look at that hand reaching from the sky in the Four of Cups, handing you a cup from the clouds, that's what you want to go for. That's what you want to go for right now. It's going to help you to pull yourself out of what feels a bit like a trench. I feel like there may even be some depression, but if not, just kind of a lack of motivation. And it definitely is because you've changed. And don't feel like it's wrong or anything that you haven't noticed that things have changed and that a new opening awaits you. It takes time. It takes time to accept that, and in a sense, there's a little bit of a grieving that can come with it, because there's certain things that you'd have to put behind. And again, it's not like, I don't mean to be very dramatic and say, you're going to have a whole change of friends and where you live and what you do and your interests. But I think that a lot of you will know what I'm talking about. You just feel different. And going back to that cup, I feel like it really is a gift from the heavens. You're being invited to widen your perspective of things, and perhaps, at least temporarily, put on the back burner some of the things that you used to think made you happy and feel complete and just feel like utter fulfillment. That's what this, like I said, it came up on the bottom of the deck, the Ten of Pentacles. You feel like that's how you were, that's how things were, that's how life was at some point. And you feel like you've been fighting to get that, and it just doesn't seem right anymore. Not that you don't want to be happy, but you're just not sure that that's what you want anymore. And that's okay. That's happening for a reason. And that cup is a gift. I mean, it's like, take this cup and drink from it. I know that sounds really religious, but you're really being invited to taste really the newness of some kind of new energy happening for you, available for you. And it will involve some letting go. And it may involve some people. It may involve letting go of some people. But I don't think that's going to be really tragic for you. It feels like you probably already know that there's some people that just don't have your highest interest in mind and just have been dragging you down a little bit. And then I'm also getting something about dating. So I think a lot of you are single and have been facing some frustration around dating and feeling similar to what I just described, which seemed to be more about general social life or even projects with other people or working together with other people. But it's applying to dating too, and your approach to romance or finding a romantic partner. It just feels like you're just not, you may have been doing online dating for a while, for example, or maybe meetups, or been dating friends of friends or people within your group, and that just doesn't feel the same anymore either. It might feel like, to you, it might have come across as more like you were losing hope or losing faith, or just feeling really drained about it because you weren't meeting someone, or the people you were meeting just weren't what you were looking for. And that seems like it, if you felt that and it was happening, that's because that was the case. But what I'm getting is that it's sort of going back to what I was saying before, where it's supposed to be happening. It's because you're not being supportive in that approach anymore, in that type of atmosphere of meeting someone. And it feels like if you do take some time to reassess things and follow what guides you, I feel that you'll know, like there'll be some sort of inner light that guides you towards something new. And I don't even feel like you'll have to look for someone in the way that you've been looking if you are a single Sagittarian that I'm talking to who's been frustrated with dating. So it's not even about finding new ways to date. It seems to be more about what I was saying before, which is going back to, I'm going towards a newer approach to everything, really. A new stage for you. Something that will, even if you don't physically change your atmosphere, it will change all the energy around you, because you'll have moved on to the next stage, and so there will be more supportive energies around you. And also in terms of meeting someone, that will help you. It will be much easier for you to meet someone in that state of mind. everything will be more supportive. Okay. So I'm going to stop here. I didn't get too much about coupled up Sages or anything this month. And again, in the future, if I have more time, I really would like to do separate videos. But these were the messages that were important to get out to most Sagittarians this month. And if you'd like me to look at your personal situation more, again, you can email me at soulsintersect@gmail.com. Thank you so much.